Class, welcome to EL5123 Diverse Learners. I'm Dr. Scott Hunt. I am the professor for this course. Happy that you'll be joining me for this 5 weeks. So I'm going to do a few things here in this video. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself. I'm going to share some of the important menu items on the left-hand side of the course, and then we'll wrap this up so that you have some information to go by as you start the course for this 5-week period. As I said, I'm Dr. Scott Hunt. I have been with ACE for almost 3 years. I am currently the executive director for field relations at the Ohio Department of Education. Prior to that, I was a superintendent for 6 years in Ohio in a small rural community east of Cleveland. I currently live in Ohio. Prior to being a superintendent, I was in my home district for where I live for 15 years. I was, my last year, the director of college and career readiness, 5 years as a middle school principal, 5 years as an assistant principal, 4 years as a high school counselor. My assistant principalship was at the high school. I taught for 4 years in a small city just outside of Cleveland, multi-subjects. Also taught for 1 year in Cleveland Metropolitan Schools in a middle school, multi-subjects, and I started my career in Naples, Florida. I taught 5th grade there for 4 years. So I'm so happy to be able to share any of my experiences with you throughout the next 5 weeks. One thing that I do want to point out to you is the course syllabus. And I'm going to click on that real quick and see if we can get the syllabus to pop up here. And I want to talk really just about the late policy, knowing that we're still in a pandemic and folks still have some issues with quarantining and masking and being in school and all the things that are happening out there. I just want to point out that although we're in a 5-week course, there is some flexibility for your assignments. So if you do run into an issue, you need to notify me immediately, and I can probably work with you at least over a period of 24 hours to give you additional time if it's necessary. As I scroll through here, I want you to, I really want you to see this attendance grading and the late work policy. And please read the late work policy thoroughly, because each week I submit grades prior to Thursday. Sometimes they do get in on a Thursday. But if you are late with your assignments, there is a 10% penalty per day that your work is late. So I want to point that out to you and make sure that you understand that. That is in the syllabus, and I'd point you to the syllabus for any additional information that you might need. I also want to show you the calendar. The calendar is what I use and how I set up my announcements, and you can see that you might be in a different time zone, but this is the calendar that we're using in terms of due dates, and you can see where original posts on discussions are and when your actual analysis and applications are due. And you can see the time that they are due on the far right of that calendar. The other menu item I'd point you to is the discussion boards. Please start out doing the Getting to Know You board. I've already provided a response there and would appreciate if you could do the same. Discussions, of course, are weekly and ongoing. I try to respond to as many of you as I can throughout the discussion boards and throughout the 5 weeks. And the other piece I want to point to you is grades. And in the grade book, you will be able to get to the actual assignment, the work that you've submitted there, and how I've graded it. There will be another video and another announcement specific to grading. And then I would just go back to the home page and point you out to the instructor studio. And I want to make sure that I highlight this for you, that under my contact information, I would appreciate first using the Canvas inbox. That inbox automatically notifies me that there's an email. Oftentimes, a student will email me directly at my ACE email. You can use that, but I get alerted immediately when there's a Canvas notification. So sometimes your questions are time sensitive. I would use that mailbox that's located over here on the left hand corner of your menu items. And so, with that, I wish you the best of luck and look forward to the next 5 weeks.